decided to make a little video of my progress. You know, if you ever decide to work on a transmission, go to Lowe's, get yourself a table if you're a bum like me. $40. Put it anywhere. I even paint on this table. Paint a transmission on this table. Just, you know, you can cover it with a tarp. It's pretty handy tool. So this is transmission. I did a lot of videos about it. It's probably really famous by now. Put forks, gears, bearings. I also did a little upgrade. Didn't have that before. Figured I'll put it in for safety. Safe off the pins with stainless steel welding wire that I had, so the pins won't come out. This transmission is pretty much done. The only thing I'm missing is I gotta put spacers. I ordered from Japan, but they didn't come in yet. The spacers are needed for, you know, every transmission because tolerances are different. And basically, what I gotta do is take a tin wire, place it over here, take the casing, put the casing over, tighten the bolts, crush the tin, open it up, measure the tin, go on a spec sheet and see what's the spacing, and then you know, order the spacing. What I else obviously did, I ordered pretty much all of them. What do you call them? Spacers. I ordered all the spacers, but obviously Japan's taking forever because they don't have all of them. I figured I'll do this right now and tell them to cancel all the ones I don't need and get stuff in as soon as possible. So another thing I want to mention is, for some reason, this bearing right here, it was not tight. I pulled it out on my transmission. I was away. I don't know if somebody messed with it. The other side, it was too tight. I couldn't even get it out. I had to it was a headache. I had to pretty much cut the bearing to get it out of the race, out of the transmission. So the problem I'm having is, if you looked in the previous video, this bearing, when you put it in, it wants to spin. It wants to spin in the casing. These bearings are not meant to be spun. I mean, not the bearings, but the races, the racing. The racing is not meant to be spun. So, you know, if this guy is going to spin, it's going to wear out the casing, and then the whole transmission is going to start wobbling, and it's going to destroy the case and transmission. I don't know. It's going to be bad. But anyway, I ordered Loctite 641. So if you have a problem with races, loose, you put a Loctite 641, put the bearing in, the race in, and let it dry, and it will never come out. Well, it will come out when you need to pull it out. That's the thing. That's the cool thing about it. But yeah, this is what I need to do with transmission. Next part, I guess I'm gonna be doing the transfer case. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing the transfer case. There's the parts. Obviously, I'm gonna have to do the same thing. Machine, make everything back shiny from vapor blasting. This thing is beautiful, to be honest. It's clear. The clear coating that I did is just, I love it. It's pretty cool. It looks like it's from factory. And the cool thing about it is, someone asked on Instagram, why do you want this coating? Like, what's the point? Well, we all have cars, and they never have any coatings on the transmission, and when water gets on and it bakes, dries, you get water spots, transmission looks ugly, and at the same time, when you have aluminum corrosion, you get that white powder. I don't want that. This is kind of a show car as well, to be honest. To me, I'm not nailing this car. For me, it's got to be perfect. So I want to make it look like, you open the hood and you'll be like, oh, holy crap, damn, dude, you got a beautiful engine, beautiful transmission. Everything looks cool. Another thing I did is this little upgrade. I'm gonna show you real quick. So, as I build transmission, I have no idea how to build a transmission. First of all, I never done it before. It's the first time in my life. And I just watch YouTube videos, learn all the parts, what they have, and blah blah blah. I took my transmission apart, inspected, looked what needs to be swapped, what looks good, what's not, and ordered parts. This is a website for all the Mitsubishi parts you want, Amayama, which I probably talked about in the previous videos. It's basically where you get all the Evo parts. Probably not the cheapest. Some parts are not cheap. I'm gonna tell you that. Some part, I guess, because of they don't have big quantities, so they jacked up the prices. But if you can't get a part, I would get it in here. Most of them are pretty cheap. Better than buying a STM or whatever them expensive Evo online stores. And I got on this website anyway on one day, and I'm like looking through it, and I'm like, oh, look. So they give you they do all this inspection. I read that. It's pretty cool. Fancy. I can do it myself. Anyway. So anyway, I got one down the page, and I'm like, oh, look at that. Transmission case only upgrade. That's pretty cool. Alright. And they give you a picture. Thank God they give you a picture. Shit. You just look at it and copy it. I guess in here what they did is they increased this passage a little bit wider. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna stress about it too much. Another thing I noticed, they opened this. You see this little bend? I have a feeling they actually didn't make this passage bigger. It kind of looks bigger than my transmission. I don't know why. It looks this pathway looks wider. But I think that what they mean in this transmission case oil upgrade is that they basically bent this thing so that when the chunk of oil comes in, it gets sucked in easier inside its chamber, and it gets more oil that way. Anyway, I actually watched some YouTube videos, and some guy was talking about it as well. Yeah, when you upgrade transmission, you can bend it, so it's pretty cool. Easy upgrade, and obviously this is something I never seen before. Neodymium magnet, whatever. Take a look at the picture. Basically, you just cut that, tap holes where the welds were for the plate. And you also obviously drill a hole in the middle, water the magnet, bam. You got yourself a customized transmission with a very important feature. I'm going to tell you why. So here's my case. I modified it. I did exactly what they have up there. I just don't have the plate yet because it's in Japan still. Assholes take it forever. But I got the magnet. Really powerful magnet. I want to show you. Look at this bolt. Well, not bolt, but the socket. Bam. Now imagine if you have metal particles. What is it gonna do with the particles? Even the little shavings or whatever, or even the metal dust. It's gonna get stuck with that magnet forever. I really think this is a really big upgrade right there. This magnet is a transmission saver. I'm surprised not all transmissions have it. Yes, they have it at the oil bung. But if something chips off and comes off, there's no guarantee that it will go down in a pan and just get stuck with the magnet on the bottom of the bung. They can also get sucked up this way, and go inside your. Pretty much, if one particle gets inside of your transmission, those bearings that are on the transmission, they're so delicate that one little piece of metal, even like a piece of sand, it'll destroy the bearings. They just demolish the bearings. The tolerances are so tight in that thing, it's insane. It's pretty cool, but it's insane. At the same time, it's pretty insane. My phone's kind of dead, so I can't really have a light on. But see, there's a hole inside. So there's a diff with inner diff. There's an inner diff in this transmission. Any transmission, but anyway, has teeth that are connected to these gears, and at the same time, those teeth, they act as a pump. And my transmission, obviously, I'm pretty sure all the other transmissions, even like a Tiburon transmission, regular Tiburon transmission, work the same way. So the oil gets picked up with the gear. As we saw in that picture, there's this plate. Now this plate, right now, normally, it's really barely open. Now I'm going to modify it like they did and open it up more to allow more volume in the transmission. More oil, technically the better is for the transmission. And then obviously it goes to this passage. I don't know what the first chamber is for. I'm assuming it's to catch all the heavy particles. I don't know. I'm not doesn't really make sense to me, but anyway. So I guess the first chamber fills in, catches the big particles, then it passes through when it overfills. It's always overfilled, but it passes through, fills this chamber, and you can see there's a little hole in there. So that hole, it goes down in here. Obviously, you have a bearing in here, and your shaft. The oil goes inside the shaft, like in a crank in the engine, and there's a holes. If you look at some pictures, I'm pretty sure you can see an example. There's holes on the side of the shaft, and basically all the gears to get lubricated. Everything gets lubricated from the inside. And at the same time, you have oil sitting like this, and it gets always cycled around, splashed, lubricates all the gears. So I think this is pretty cool. Anyway, I just wanted to explain a little bit for those who never had a clue what a transmission looks like on the inside and how it works, kinda. Give you some insight. But, this is a really very valuable upgrade. Anybody can do it. You don't need to take it to a special place. You just got to order the tools and get it together. These are M6. These are M6 screws. M6 by 6 millimeter. You need M5 by 30 millimeter. This is a 1 inch by ½ inch earth magnet, needle magnet, whatever you call it, with a tapered hole in the middle. I think it was like a 1/4 inch hole. And then this screw is also tapered, like it's got a taper in it, so it fits in and everything gets. And I drilled this out with a hole saw. I used the die grinder to, clean out, even everything out. And there you go. Did the upgrade myself. So the next part is obviously transfer case.